of course, it's a lot of work to be done. That's why we have some people already here, which are gonna do the underwater construction to make sure they make it the best way it has to be for hurricanes and any other thing that may happen.
So where will the golden tank be? The pool, the dolphin pool.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Have you been there lately?
Not really.
Okay. If anybody wants to come, I'll make sure to explain you how we're gonna do it. But basically, it's a big area. It's almost 6,000 square meters for where the dolphins can be swimming around, and we have so much platforms where the people can go through some stairs, stand on the platforms while the dolphins interact with them.
And how many minutes will there be? 2, 3 dolphins? How many dolphins?
Four dolphins are coming.
So you won't have any construction on the beach there where the dolphins are?
Not now. We are working with the planning department to complete that part of the project.
So you may eventually have your own place there?
Yes.
That's in the planning?
Yes.
Is this a license or what do you call it? MOU?
A license.
So what is the difference?
Well, it is a license that is required for them to operate. An MOU is basically an understanding between them and the government as to what is going to be.
So has that part been?
Of course, it has.
Yes.
Yeah. That was done before, long before.
If I may add to the dolphin fantasies coming to Anguilla, it is important for Anguilla not only because of the job opportunities. As Alejandro said earlier, there'll be 14 initial jobs, but those jobs will increase over the next few months. The season is already on the decline. As you know, even in the cruise ship industry, it's very seasonal, and Caribbean governments have been trying to figure out how best they can lengthen the season for the cruise ships. As we all know, we have been challenged, all of the Caribbean islands have been challenged with trying to lengthen the onshore businesses relative to tourists. But over the period, as we get later in the year and the season picks back up again, the dolphin fantasies will be expanding their staff component, and hopefully with a view of getting even beyond the 45 which they initially had. But that is one aspect of it. The employment aspect is only one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that the cruise industry is one of the largest and fastest growing types of tourism anywhere on the planet. It's growing really, really fast, and it gives Anguilla the opportunity to advertise, because there's a lot of tourists that will be on these ships that have never heard of Anguilla. And the government of Anguilla, with its limited budget and limited resources, we spend perhaps the lowest amount of money in tourism in the entire Caribbean, even though we are more dependent than any other island in the Caribbean on tourism. Tourism is our business, so without tourism we will perish. But be that as it may, this gives millions of people the opportunity to hear about Anguilla. Whether or not they come to the dolphin fantasies is one aspect of it, but the fact remains that they will hear about Anguilla, they will hear about this island paradise, and whether or not they take up the opportunity to come to Anguilla to enjoy dolphin fantasies, they most likely will do some research and find out, what this place is all about. And once we get you to Anguilla, you'll always come back. So this affords us a free ride, so to speak, in terms of advertising and marketing our destination, Anguilla. So we are happy to have the Dolphin Fantasies on board. It's been a 4-year long ride. I've always supported the Dolphin Fantasies from the very outset, and even throughout all the criticism that have been leveled on the governments. And when I say governments, I mean the former administration also was supportive of the Dolphin coming to Anguilla, and this administration. Even though with all the criticism, we all recognize that tourism is our business, and whatever we can do to bring more awareness to Anguilla, positive awareness to Anguilla, we will do so. So we are happy to have the Dolphin on board.
Can you give us some idea of when you expect to start operating?
We want to start between the first and second week of July.
That's constructing.
No, operations.
So you'll be open for tourists?
Yes.
From the second week of July?
Actually, we have the first reservation already.
That sounds soon. I mean.
Yes, we're fast.
Must be.
You know, it was up there a long time, so all the preparation and groundwork had been put in place. Actually, there have been quite some delays, but they have been ready. But we have to proceed cautiously and get everything in place and the right way, because that had been a challenge in the past, that things were done prematurely and it stalled the project from going forward. But this time we have been extremely cautious not to jump ahead of ourselves and got tripped up, on path. So they have been working their way, waiting cautiously to make sure that we do everything correct. We are now have completed that process and they're ready to deliver. That's why it appears to be.
So there's not too much more that you have to do in the sea? Or that is all constructed
Yes.
already?
One part of it is being constructed already, so that's what we're going to start with.
Okay.
Then suddenly we're going to be finishing the other areas.
When can I come down and take a photo?
Anytime you want to come, let me know. And
You're usually down there?
yes, I'll give you my phone. You can call me to make sure I'll be there.
Okay, good morning to everyone. I'm really pleased to have everyone here this morning, especially Mr. Alejandro working with the Dolphins project. I'm happy to know that we are going to start this project again. I can recall I was coming from St. Martin maybe 3 years back, and I met a group of folks from California. They actually came to Anguilla just to go to the Dolphins Discovery. And it was a bit disappointing to tell them, this is not an operation anymore. But they came all the way from California just to go to the Dolphins. And it was about a group of about 14, and we became friends. We stay in contact from time to time. So I guess I can relate to them that the Dolphins is back on track when they want to visit again. But I know it's quite a long way from California. But it's good to have it back in operation. We know it has been a really long road, especially for me, going back and forth with the AG's chambers and make sure they have everything in place so that we don't encounter the problems that happened in the past. But we still have quite a few people that are objecting to the Dolphins Discovery. And I always use the example of the airport project. I don't like where the airport project is. It's almost in my yard, but it's me, my wife, my 2 children, 4 of us. We can destroy the rest of Anguilla just for 4 of us. It's easier for us to move on, something of that nature. So I kind of use that as an example because I don't see why just 2 or 3 people should try and stop Anguilla going forward. And as you heard Mr. Alejandro said, it's going to help us in promoting tourism. We depend on tourism solely until we can have another way of diversifying the economy, then we're going to be stuck with tourism. I wish it was much easier that we could get this going, but as it is right now, we have to work with tourism, and I just want to tell Mr. Alejandro that they have the government's full support in this venture, and we look forward to him opening in the next 2 weeks, it seems like. So this is going to be something good for Anguilla, and I think everyone should go down and have a tour. As he said, you could come and see it anytime. Government ministers are planning to visit sometime soon, and even go to have a little swim with the dolphins, get some of nature. I like dolphins. Quite a few people, we have animal activists all over the world, but some of the people that make the biggest complaint, you go into their country, they're the dolphins. I've been to Marineland, I've been to SeaWorld, they're the dolphins. They can't do anything about it, but they want to control Anguilla. And it's a bit disappointing, but be that as me, I'm full support of the Dolphin Discovery, and you have my full support.
Thank you very much. Thank you.